A very good evening to all our viewers, and thank you for joining us on this wonderful Sunday evening. My name is Toivan Jabela, your anchor for tonight. Tonight we are very, very excited and are doing things slightly differently by speaking to heads of two political parties, that is Gotthard Kandume. He is president of the Christian Democratic Voice, and he is the sole representative of his party in the National Assembly, as well as National Democratic Party President Lukato Lukato. Gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for the platform.
having us here.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. The reason why I invited you, gentlemen, is because I think the parties that are deemed to be smaller, like your own, never really get a platform to also have a say in the national affairs. And it's important that we divert from just the so-called bigger parties and engage also your parties to understand your positions or your party's positions on different things. I think to start off with, there was an unfortunate incident, which was the passing of Ignatius Chouameni, Honorable Ignatius Chouameni, president of All People's Party. Maybe if you can just kick off the ball by telling us, Mr. Kandume, what you knew of him and if you have any words really to say.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that it was really an unfortunate experience in my life that I have endured yesterday.
Yeah.
Honorable Chouameni, I know him since he was a Deputy Minister of Information. And also, before that, he was a vibrant and outstanding leader during the Nanso era, during the struggle. And I personally started knowing him when I have sympathizing the COT party. I used to travel with him and so on. And then I was lucky enough, by the grace of God, to serve with him in the 7th Parliament. And this is where I could have interact with him, and I served with him in 3 different standing committees. And his contribution was always outstanding. We can put it that way. And yesterday, while we were busy with the Venezuela ambassador, he came 5 minutes late. He sit next to me. He greeted me and asked water. And the Secretary of the Parliament is giving him water. And then he didn't even finish drinking the whole water. I could remember that he only take 2 halves of the water, and then he starts shivering. And I was there as a first person to hold him. But it was unfortunate that due to our medical experience and so on, we could not manage to stabilize his life. So it's unfortunate that we have lost a leader in duty for the love of Namibian nation.
Indeed.
And of course, I have never seen him one day angry, even on his face. Whenever he was trying to respond, he was having smile on his face every day. And that is how I know him.
Indeed. Mr. Lukato, do you remember anything about Mr. Chouameni? Do you have any words to his family and his party?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I just want to send the NDP condolences to the brave families. So, it was shocked. His untimely death is it's a sad. So I have known him immediately after independence of this country, when he was also activist of the movement, like that means within the ruling party SWAPO structures. As one of the youth leaders whatsoever. From there, we came together when he was also a member of COD.
Yeah.
Then we came to know each other very closely. Then after from a breakaway from the COD, he founded his party, APP. Then he invited me as a friend. No, we were big friends. Then he invited me to visit him at his house in Windhoek.
Yes.
So all time from that for the past years, before he scored a seat in parliament, no, we were very big friends.
Wonderful.
Yes, so he was a friendly man and also a very respected man because his characteristics was humble, very friendly.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. No, thank you, Mr. Lukato, for that. I think your observation resonates with Mr. Kandume's own observation, and I think a lot of people also knew him as that. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about the one thing that has been dominating news in the past couple of days. We have seen the proceedings in the hearing bail application of the Fishrot matter for the past 2 weeks. Your party, Mr. Kandume, the Christian Democratic Voice, what has been its position on this Fishrot thing?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Twefo. You know, this country is governed by rule of law.
Yeah.
And when this issue has been come publicly, we have seen and we are hearing what is going on concerning this case. And this case is sub judice. Well, as a law-abiding citizen, I don't want to comment at this stage about who is guilty and who is not guilty.
Yes.
There are rumors, and that rumors must be proved in the court that this is true. Yes, Fishrot, it has happened, and there is evidence according the witnesses and the ICC that money has been, deposited in accounts of individuals and political parties and so on. But I don't want to comment at this stage about Fishrot issue.
Yeah.
Let the court take its decision and rule on that matter, and then I will come back about the Fishrot issue. Okay. But at this stage, I want to refrain from that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Lukato, are you brave enough, as per the titles in your party, to give us a reflection of NDP on this Fishrot issue?
Thank you very much. Namibia is a democratic country. Before independence, Namibia or Namibians people were poor. And after independence of this country, they become poor. But looking at the population of our people, with 2,800,000 whatsoever, that's a very small population. While the country is rich in all its resources. Those resources, those are including the minerals, underground minerals, and all those resources which was made here or was created by the Redeemer, the Creator, the God Himself. So, apart from those resources we have, Namibia got also privilege to get donations, sponsorships from the world, which is from donor countries, especially those developed countries. to add to our resources,
Yeah.
Namibia's rich, definitely. So now, taxpayers' money have been vanished for good. People's money have been vanished in all forms of those, let me say, those who are stealing the people's, the resources of this country. While the people, the majority, they are become poor.
Yeah.
And if the apartheid regime, they could manage to build houses, if the apartheid regime, they could let me say, treat their people, the people of this country. So they were better in that time, but after independence, and then now the situation now is now unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, the case of this nature in Namibia history, it started many years back.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it just only revealed now by the God. Every money and all those things, those resources, vanished, and they are in the pockets of the individuals.
Yeah.
So which means that the NDP, in this case, which is there, we are not happy.
Yeah.
The reason is that not only those, or there are 7 people now standing for this, to be tried on this case. No, what happened to that list which came out?
Yeah.
That list, if it's not more than 70, more than 100 suspects.
Yeah.
Those who are supposed to be interrogated, and they were supposed to be investigated. We are waiting for those people
To be also.
Yes, to be also part and parcel of the this. Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Mr. Kandume, I know that you are very careful because the matter is sub judice, like you rightly stated. But you represent a constituency. You have people who voted for you into office, and they need their party to pronounce itself on corruption in general and Fishrot in particular. You don't have to say who's guilty, but you ought to have a strong position, whether it's positive or negative, on this issue.
Yes, as my senior president has says that everyone is not happy about the corruption in this country. No one will be. No one can go along with that because corruption delays any development and it promotes to poverty in this country. And we don't want that our electorates must suffer. That's a bottom line.
Yes.
But there are certain issues that court issues, it's a sensitive matter.
Yes.
Even in the parliament, Fishrot issue has not been tabled.
Yeah.
Because it's a court matter. So let the court take its reasonable position and found these people on reasonable doubt guilty. And then we can address the matter. And then we'll know where did the money went and who is the guilty part in this matter. But the corruption, we fully reject and we will fully, strongly abolish or try to address corruption in this country. That's a bottom line. But corruption is everywhere. Corruption is even in the churches. Even in United States House, where President Biden is, corruption is everywhere. So how can we eradicate corruption in Namibia, say for instance? It's just to address the issues that are really affecting our communities. And how can we go about that? First, to tell the people or educate the people what does corruption mean. Corruption is there is no big corruption and there is no small corruption. Corruption is corruption when it comes to something that you have not been given, you are taking.
Yes.
and you mean only for yourself. And that's a corruption. Whether is it small or big, corruption is corruption.
Indeed.
Yes.
We go for a quick break and then we return.
Yes.
Conversation with NDP President Martin Lukato, as well as Christian Democratic Voice President Gotthard Kandume. I still want to come back to you briefly, Mr. Kandume, to comment on what Mr. Lukato said earlier on about he said that the apartheid regime did better than the SWAPO regime, the SWAPO government, in terms of, services to the people. He spoke about housing, for example, I think suggesting, obviously, that we didn't have these shacks and what. If you can give me your take on that, do you believe that SWAPO has done better?
SWAPO is having very good policies.
Yeah.
But the implementation is a problem. When founding president started as a president of this country, they introduced Build Together program.
Yeah.
And we have seen that many towns and villages have succeeded. And then, of course, also NHE has been come in, to meet, government programs accessible to the people.
Yeah.
And then we had the former president, Pohamba, who came up with mass housing projects.
Yes.
And it's mass housing projects to say it has lapsed. There are houses, for instance, which has been built in Swakopmund. I saw houses in Oshakati when I went out with the standing committees. We saw the houses has been completed, and some are half completed. Also in Rundu. 2 months ago, I was in Rundu with the Recon Africa issue. And then we have seen that some houses has been half built, and those who has been built are not occupied. Now, ones don't know what is going on. This is the resources and the money of the taxpayer who has been, projected in these projects. Yeah. But yet I fully agree with my senior leader saying that during the struggles, liberation struggle during South Africa apartheid regime, when they were ruling this country, so to say, we could see hardly kabashus. Informal sector and also informal sectors. It was not. But after independence, go to Okahangia Park, go to Havana, it's full. I'm once asking ourselves now, what is going on? We are having a good policies, giving good housing projects, policies, but where is the problem? Yeah. Where is the problem? That's a question we once can ask ourselves as a lawmaker and the leader of the political parties.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, Mr. Lukato, you still wanted to comment a little bit on Fishrot. Of course, one of the issues there is that money like that, the state this past week said 317 million of this country's resources have been plundered by those that are implicated in Fishrot. We do not know who specifically among them, but 317 million of the country's money has been taken. Do you have an idea, can you imagine, Mr. Lukato, how much difference that kind of money could have made in communities like where you come from and where I come from?
Thank you very much again for the platform. Before I came to answer that,
yes,
let me start with the foundation of corruption.
Yeah.
Corruption starts from the top.
Yeah.
It comes down once, and it grows parallel to the surface of the ground.
Yeah.
So what I mean, if corruption is started from the top,
yeah,
to control it is too difficult.
Yeah.
Because those who are involved there, you get big fish. Those who are not untouched.
Yeah.
So, which means that it's a problem.
They are too powerful. They are in
Definitely,
charge.
yes. They are in charge of so the resources of this country, they are in their hands. So they do whatever, they can mess up those things.
Yeah.
Their intention when they took over to govern this country,
Yeah.
just to enrich themselves. It's not that the Namibian people and the country should benefit or should develop. No.
Yeah.
That's why they have imposed many laws to impose on the people, poor people, the majority people of this country, without their approval.
Yeah.
They have created so-called ACC. That one is not independent. It's those who are there, they should be a remote control. So which means that a remote control, it's he or she will get just the instruction.
Yeah.
Do A, B, C, D. So which means that we don't have independent body. Like it was supposed to be fully independent, the ACC. And then in Namibia also, we don't have an independent judicial. So which means that why these allegations of, let me say, suspected of more than 100 suspected, and those, most of them, they are on those ruling party. So which means that why are not being investigated?
Yeah.
Why are not being interrogated?
Yeah.
So which means that money which now it's only it's not a real one according to my observation.
Yeah.
The big one is still hidden.
Yeah.
They have to dig out. The more money to come out, which was yes.
So I hear you. Okay. Yeah. No, I think in fairness, Mr. Lukato, obviously the judiciary is not responsible for investigating. It's mostly the police and the ACCs.
Yes.
But of course, I mean, I'm not negating your observation to say that the judiciary is not independent. I'm not saying it, but you are saying it. But I was just saying that, in fairness, they are not responsible for investigating. But if anybody else was arrested, obviously they will handle those people. Mr. Kandume, if your party was to win an election today and take over the country, how will it tackle corruption? How would you make sure that those that are responsible for stealing from what is meant for all of us in this country will face the full wrath of the law?
You see, when President HH of Zambia take office over, he says, before that, he says that he will change corruption. He will fire all corrupt leaders and officials from the offices. And when he take over, he has observed that what he has says, he cannot practice.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. So once we are going to take over, I think we will start looking at how can we address corruption issue in our country. It's just going to educate our people about what is corruption means.
Yeah.
Look at China. Corruption in China is a death sentence. If you are once you are convicted, it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
But China, who don't tolerate corruption in his country, is friends to corrupt African leaders. And China is practicing corruption in our country, in Africa, with their collaborators in Africa, with collaborators in Africa. So how do you want us to distinguish, to eradicate corruption? And China, of course, is, for instance, a big lender of Africa, loans. And recently, China government has threatened Kenya to pay the loans back. And China, or otherwise they will repossess the airports, Mumbai,
Yes.
of China, of Kenya. And Kenya has got now no other option. They are now knocking out at the World Bank and IMF to borrow money to pay the China back. You see, so apart from coming back to Namibia, this country has already been messed up. We hear here and then that there is no money. So what happened with the money? That's a big question. And how can we eradicate corruption in this country is also another question mark.
Yes.
It's not easy. It will not be easy. It will take us 100 years maybe to bring Namibia, to make Namibia a corrupt-free country.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no one is going to eradicate corruption for our stage now. Even Honorable, my senior brother, if it is party is taking over, it will take 100 years. Even worship Amupanda, it will take years.
I hear you.
Yes.
Mr. Lukato, we are told some of the allegations that have been made in court during this Fishrot thing is that the ruling party has also received proceeds of that crime. If NDP was to take over today as the ruling party, how will you handle this issue, especially the ruling party SWAPO? Are you going to inquire more about whether they receive this money? How are you going to, because we know they are your competitors already, but you also have to be fair to them by following the legal routes. But how will you handle it?
Thank you very much. When we took over as the NDP federal system in Namibia, the first thing which we are going to do regarding this issue is to consult all political parties on the ground, those registered political parties. And I believe among them is Brave here, the president of
The
Christian Democratic Voice. So which means that we will have to consult because we are not selfish.
Yes.
And also we are going to invite all those interested stakeholders, political parties, to form up a government of national unity. You cannot rule this country alone. And you cannot manage to govern this country alone. That's a selfish. Immediately with the intention to govern this country alone, then the corruption starting there. So now, NDP, what's going to happen that immediately when we took over, we will make sure that the culprits, they should be, all of them, they should be investigated. They should be interrogated. Those who are going to be proved that they are part and parcel of those allegations, they should be arrested to face justice. And then the money which was stolen, the people's money, taxpayers' resources, which was, we are going to ask our brothers and sisters in the rural party SWAPO to pay back that money as a matter of an agency, so that that money can be used for the development of this country.
Yeah.
Our people are hungry in all these regions. You see, you go to poor people who cannot not afford even for the food on table, while there is some money available for those people to benefit. Yeah. So definitely, we are going to instruct the SWAPO party to pay the money. And you know what happened that they are now ruling this country illegally because that campaigning which Congress which took place 2017 and the campaigning elections, which resulted to continue to be in power. That is illegally. Yeah. So if we could have you see, an independent judiciary, immediately they could nullify those elections.
Indeed.
Yes, because they never come in power let me say, it is not true. Yeah. That's a forgery. They forged the elections. Yeah. They stole the people's money so that they can continue to be in power. So which means that definitely, very, very strictly, I'm not going to hide this. I'm telling Namibian people that when we come in power, even 2024, when NDP it will be in power, given power by the majority people of this country, which is the voiceless, those affected groups, the majority poor.
Yes.
Definitely, we are going to handle this issue as a matter of an urgency. That definitely, there's no other way. They must not dodge. There is evidence in place, already in place. They stole that money. It's a money, people's money.
It's people's money.
Yes, yes.
We go for another quick break and return for the last stretch of the show.
Season 1 of the Hunters Chill Session is coming to a close. To celebrate Hunters and the Namibian Sun, we'll be having an exclusive invite-only event at Access Lounge on the 23rd of November. You can be part of this. Stand a chance to win exclusive double tickets for you and a friend to attend the Hunters Chill Finale. WhatsApp a picture of you and your friend chilling with your favorite Hunters to 084 000 9820. Hunters, refreshes like nothing on earth. Not for persons under the age of 18. T's and C's apply.
We continue our conversation. Mr. Kandume, one of the issues that have been making headlines, I mean, we are saying that Fishrot made headlines in the past 2 weeks. Prior to that were the issues of abortion. You are a Christian democratic voice. What is your party's position on abortion?
Thank you.
Pro-choice or pro-life?
Thank you very much. Our position as a Christian is very clear. You see, we cannot copy and paste everything from the Europeans and other countries are doing. Yes, South Africa, they have implemented same-sex marriages and so on. But unfortunately, Namibia is a sovereign country.
Yeah.
And our position is, as a Christian, is 95%.
Yeah.
Namibians are Christians.
Yeah.
And we are here to represent Christians and also non-Christians that sees that no, this body can represent our needs and values and norms in this country. But coming back to the abortion, what does the Bible say about abortion?
Yeah.
Is abortion not a kill? Jesus has died for our sins on the cross. When Adam and Eve commit a sin in the garden, God has says that no, each and everyone have got a punishment.
Yeah.
Adam, from your hard work, you will eat. You will bear kids on earth, but with the pain. Now, where in that scripture says that you must kill your baby? No way. Where is that scripture that says that you must kill your baby? No.
Yeah.
So why should we? So Bible and the religion we have inherited.
Yeah.
But this is the right way to the national building, according to our perspective as a Christianity, to bring Christian values on earth, in Namibia. So we stood by the Bible by saying that abortion, if a woman make abortion, you are guilty. Look at the Sharia laws. Look at the Sharia law.
Yeah.
And look at the what is the Sharia law says. You cannot, if you kill, you will be killed.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like that. If those are not the Christians, but they believe that if you kill, you will be killed. So women who wants abortion to be legalized, Christian, from the Christian perspective and the party that we are representing in the parliament, sorry, we will never support. It's already there. The motion is there. It has been tabled, and we are discussing the motion. But we have made it very clear that we are not going to support abortion, same-sex marriages. In the beginning, God has made a man. And when he has seen that there is a need for woman, he has made a woman for Adam. So same-sex marriage issue is what other countries are practicing. We cannot copy and paste, unfortunately.
We cannot copy and paste.
Yes.
Mr. Lukato, your thoughts on abortion?
Thank you very much. This issue is very serious and a very sensitive issue. It's not coming now. It's coming now for the second or for the third time. The first time it came, and it was led by former Deputy Prime Minister, who was also a Minister of Health. That's my sister, Honorable Amadela, yes. That issue was, it was a public hearing, the whole country. Me, Lukato Lukato, and the NDP took part. Yes. We submitted our submission. So it was at the end of the day or whatsoever of the mission of that event.
Yeah.
The majority of Namibians, Christians, they have totally rejected to legalize abortion and sterilization in Namibia because it's a sin, it's a crime. So, which means that, let me say, the 20 commandments from the Bible, where God, the Redeemer, have instructed us not to do, to violate those 20 commandments. So, which means that coming to this cultural and the traditional laws where we live, it's a sin and it's a crime to do that. Because our people, our parents, our forefathers, they never prioritized that thing. It's a modern, as my relative friend here, the leader of Christian Democratic Voice, have stated, definitely. These things is coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So which means that we totally reject to legalize and support the abortion and the sterilization in Namibia. Because, unborn child, when he is been affected by his or her life, and then it's a killing.
It's a violation.
Yes, it's a violation. So which means that, they started with other things. They have created with HIV/AIDS. It comes from somewhere else. The target is to reduce the population of Africa. So that HIV/AIDS is coming from other country or from other continent. Yeah. It was created there, and it was brought here in Africa. So the second thing that now they have also created this corona. It's coming from somewhere there. And when the big giants continent, they are fighting for this superpower title. That's the problem there. Yeah. They are targeting those who have been affected, the Africans. So, which means that in short, abortion, if it was rejected at the first instance, why is it now coming back again?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes.
But Mr. Twefo,
yes.
There are two types of abortions.
Yeah.
People should understand that point very clear.
Yeah.
If a girl of 10 years is raped,
yeah,
and she gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, do you want us to support that child? We will support the doctors to remove that fetus from that child, because this child is a minor. She's not an adult who to take care of this baby. So that one we support it, and that process is already on. It's on. It's on since this issue has been, before independent, and currently it is on. It's a daily process that are doing that the doctors and the medical teams are doing at the hospital to help the baby. But the other issue is that if a woman has been raped from 18 or from 20 upwards, why should that woman kill a baby?
If the person is raped?
If that person, for instance, is mentally disturbed and don't want this baby or don't know, then we should understand that. We understand that no, this woman is not in condition, in her normal condition, to take care of this baby. Then the family and then the father or whatever family must sit together and decide whether with the thorough investigation that no, this person is not in a normal condition, woman, to take care of this child. And then the abortion can be done. But for a woman with the reasonable understanding to commit abortion, for what reasons?
Let me just see if I understand you, Mr. Kandume. Are you saying that if a person is raped at the age of 20 and they fall pregnant, they shouldn't abort?
No, I'm saying under 10 years. There are girls who are also raped, and with the 5 years and 10 years and 12 years. But if that girl of that child is pregnant, are we going to allow this child to deliver a baby with 11 years or with the 9 years?
No, what if a person is raped at the age of 20 and they fall pregnant?
it's where we are going to say that the medical team has to decide whether this person baby can be safe or not based on the condition of the sickness. And that process it's ongoing. It's on a daily basis. We don't deny that.
Yeah, the process that is ongoing, Mr. Kandume, and that's why I want to understand you correctly, because I'll be outraged if you are suggesting that rape victims should not abort, or that someone else other than themselves must make that decision, because somebody rapes you, you fall pregnant, and then you seem to suggest that doctors or someone else other than the victim herself must decide whether to abort or not. That's crazy.
No, what I'm saying is that if I go now for operation, who is going to sign behalf of me? It's my family.
Yes.
To take that risk and say, no, let Kandume be let the operation take place. We take full responsibility. Now, if a woman, which is now in not medically fit, which is not in her normal condition, are we going to allow that person to stay forever with this child? That's where the family must come in with the social workers, with the government, to decide through the legal way whether this woman can be allowed for abortion legally.
Yeah.
The legal process must be followed.
I hear
and then we understand that part.
Yeah.
But for a woman which is in her normal understanding, if to kill an unborn baby for what reasons, that one we cannot support it.
I hear you,
yes.
Sir. Mr. Lukato, we are heading towards the end of the show, but again, and I'm putting these things to you as national leaders because these are the realities of our time. You used the biblical provisions to say, but this is what the Bible says. We live in a secular state that says that we are not a Christian country, we are not an Islamic republic, we are just Namibians. There's no preference of religion in this country. So the argument of the Bible or the Quran or whatever cannot stand in a debate like this, but I understand to say we as a party, that is our position. I can understand it. I was just making that point clear. So same-sex marriages, they are saying men that are in relationship with other men are saying they simply happen to love that man and not women. They have, when they see a woman, they have absolutely nothing going on in their minds about that. Are we going to penalize them for that?
Thank you very much. That issue is definitely not allowed in our culture. And, those people who are creating those cultures, the intention is to destroy our culture.
Yeah.
The intention is to destroy our people. Because when, same sexes, like same men marry each other, normally that's it should be, let me say, that issue, that idea is who came with that idea. Maybe something wrong with that person, because a man cannot marry a man. A man was made to marry a woman. Like our Redeemer have created that Adam, the wife was made out of Adam to be his wife. This Eva, yes, to be Adam's wife. Not a woman to become a woman that they are married. No, that things it cannot be allowed. Before. So, which means that what's happening there is that people come with the intention to destroy the population of Namibia, to destroy the population of Africa. The intention that if abortion is going to be legalized in Namibia, but I believe it's not going to be legalized.
Yes.
It will affect the people of Namibia. It will affect the people of Africa, because in this way, because the population, it will be reduced totally.
Yeah.
So which means that someone at the end of the world, those who have made such thing, if Namibia parliament is going to adapt and approve, legalize abortion and sterilization in Namibia, sin is going to take place there. Yeah. So they will be accountable for to adapt the laws which are affecting our people on the ground. So the NDP totally reject, and we are not going to be part and parcel of accepting abortion and sterilization in Namibia to be legalized. Indeed. And the other point which I wanted to mention is that
briefly, yes,
it's an issue of, let me say, our people, they are already affected already. They are already affected, starting from the HIV/AIDS, where they have also come with that, they brought that disease here, so that the people immediately, when you look at the population, before independence, Namibian population was growing. When it came to so-called HIV/AIDS, they stopped to produce babies.
Of course, we are condomising now.
Definitely, yes.
No, you've made your point.
Let's
throw the dice.
To add what my brother, senior brother, has left from same-sex marriage, is that, when President Obama implement this policy of allowing Americans to marry a man, a woman, a man, that is concept.
Yes.
Same sex. President Trump, when he take over, he has realized that this is wrong, and he wanted to abolish that policy, and it's where he has been kicked out. That's one of the good reasons why he has been outvoted. But I fully agree what Mr. Lukato is saying. This is a sensitive matter.
Yeah. I'm
having a German friend. When Sisi wanted that also that bestiality must be legalized. There are women who sleep with the animals. If we allow men to marry a man, what about a woman who is sleeping with the animals of a dog and so on? Are we also going to allow them to get married a dog?
Very good point. Mr. Kandume, we don't have enough time now, but yes. I think you've made your point. I really appreciate the fact that you came around. Mr. Lukato, thank you for, Louis Tumezi, for coming around.
Yes.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. That has been our show tonight with the leaders of the Christian Democratic Voice and the National Development Party, Democratic Party. That is Mr. Gotthard Kandume and Mr. Martin Lukato Lukato. Thank you for watching and good night.
Thank you.
Have you received a loan from NASFAF? NASFAF loan is the same as any other loan. It must be paid and settled. NASFAF has a set of guidelines on how you can repay your loan and become debt-free. Therefore, it is important that you, a former beneficiary and a responsible Namibian, show your patriotism by helping pay back your loan and thus helping NASFAF become a revolving fund for the benefit of future potential students. By failing to pay back your NASFAF loan, you risk being blacklisted or having a court order against you. So arrange with the fund to pay back your loan today. For more information on how you can repay your loan, visit our website at www.nasfaf.na or visit our Facebook page or Twitter. Do the right thing and #paybackthemoney.
Strike it gold and win 5,000 Namibian dollars in cash with Neo Paints. Simply buy Neo Paints products from the selected range and stand a chance to get one of 12 mystery buckets filled with gold paint. All 12 winners will each get 3 extra paint buckets equal to their purchase. One to replace the gold paint, the second to use on your project, and the third to give to a charity of their choice. One winner can score another 10,000 Namibian dollars by showing us your creative use of the golden paint. The best project wins the cash. Offer is valid from 27 September to 18 December at your favorite hardware store nationwide. Visit us at neopaints.com for more competition details and follow us on Facebook for weekly competition updates. Neo Paints, a coat of excellence.